my pleasure to be here today to give a brief overview of Kumano Kodo. This is one of the rich pilgrimage traditions of the world. So I'll first start with a brief overview of the meaning of Kumano, where it is, and the meaning, and some of the spiritual background. The area of Kumano is a very rich part of Japan with nature. Here's some images here. There's a very rugged coastline, the layers and layers of mountains, and the beautiful rivers. So this is the base of the spiritual background of Kumano. It goes back to prehistoric nature worship. So these are the origins of the Kumano pilgrimage. This is a map of Japan. You can see the peninsula in the south of Kyoto and Osaka. That's the Key Peninsula. It's the largest peninsula in Japan. And the Kumano area is the furthest south. And that is a prehistoric name for the southern area, Kumano. So there's no current day Kumano province or Kumano prefecture. It's an old name for the region in the south of the peninsula. And this peninsula is connected with the Japanese creation myth. This is Emperor Jimmu, the first emperor of Japan. So he's a descendant of the sun goddess. And he came to Japan to create the country of Japan. So he came to Japan and he was guided in the mountains of Kumano by a crow. You can see on the top. That's the sacred crow. So that was his guide through the mountains of Kumano. So with the help of the crow, he was able to go to Yamato, present-day Nara, and win the battle and create Japan. So this crow is the symbol of Kumano. And you can see it in all of the shrines, and all of the motifs. So the mountains became a spiritual place for training, esoteric training, and ascetic training for monks when Buddhism came to Japan in the 6th century. And with the influence of these ascetics training in the mountains, the natural deities, or the gods from nature, were considered to be a manifestation of a Buddha. So it became a syncretic site where the traditional beliefs mixed, merged, and connected with Buddhism. And this area became a pilgrimage site. This is an image of ancient pilgrims heading to these Kumano mountains. This is the map of the Key Peninsula. And you can see the dots are the sacred sites, and the lines are the pilgrimage routes that they used to get there. Yep, so it's a network in the mountains. And this property was registered as UNESCO World Heritage in 2004. The name is at the top. It's a long name. Sacred Sites and Pilgrimage Routes in the Key Mountain Range. Very long name. So in Kumano, there were 3 shrines in the south. I'll just point them on the map.
Sí, Kumano Hongo Taisha, Kumano Rama Taisha y Kumano Nachi Taisha. Todo tiene nombre Kumano y son 3 santuarios sintoístas.
This is the first one, Kumano Hongu Taisha. Kumano Hayatama Taisha. And the third is Kumano Nachi Taisha. It's a set of 3, and they all have different types of relationship, very complex relationship. So we put a table together just to show you how these 3 shrines relate. They go back, as I mentioned, to the natural object. So on the left, the Hongu, the first shrine, is the trees, the riverbank, or nature in its entirety. In Hayatama, it's a rock on the mountain, and in Nachi, it's the waterfall. The next line is the Shinto deities, and these deities are the creation family. The first one is Susano in Hongu, then Izanagi is the second one, and Izanami is a third. The waterfall Izanami is female. This middle one, Izanagi, is the rock, it's male, very phallic. And to the left, the Hongu, is the womb, their son, where the male and female unite. So you have the nature worship, the fertility, the rich nature, and the original mythological family enshrined. And then the bottom, you have three main Buddhists, three main Buddhas, and each Buddha has their own paradise. So these are very famous Buddhas, the Amida Buddha, the compassion and wisdom, the medicine Buddha, and the goddess of mercy. So they each have their own Buddhist manifestation as well. These three shrines also represent cosmic time. Hongu is the future, Hayatama is the past, and Nachi is the present. So in Buddhism, you're reborn. You have a karmic cycle and you're reborn. So a journey to Kumano, you purify all of your past lives, your present life, and all of your future lives. So you can purify your whole cosmic life. So it's a very powerful and complex and sacred site. We have some images of the pilgrimage routes that connect them. So they're very nice going through the mountains. So you can see the layers and layers of mountains. The mountains aren't high, but there's lots of them. So it's very lush and green. It's one of the wettest areas in Japan, so it gets lots of rain. It's a very lush forest. And in the mountains you have little villages, as you can see here, with the rice fields. And in the Hongu area, there's also the hot springs. So I'll just do a really quick overview of some of the hot springs. This is one of the hot springs where you can purify yourself. And you've got the traditional accommodations with tatami mats. This is a nice hot spring, it's in the river, so the water bubbles up in the river. And then there's a hot spring on the coast with really nice seafood where you finish your pilgrimage. We're running out of time, and I just want to mention that project we're doing with dual pilgrim. So if you walk both pilgrimage routes, you can get registered as a dual pilgrim. Yep, so we've done this for 2.5 years, over 900 people. Number 4 is Spain. So please come to Kumano and become a dual pilgrim. That's it.